Hi, my name's Heath and I'm from Outcomes Fitness, and today I want to take you through a series of stretching exercises. Now, stretching is a really important part of your exercise regime. Obviously it helps with your flexibility and mobility. And this is really important for helping out the function of your joints as well. So if you're feeling a bit stiff and tight in certain areas, hopefully some of these exercises will be a little bit helpful for you. Now, just suggest before you actually get into your stretching program that you're warmed up. So that can be just doing some gentle exercise just to get the blood flowing into your muscles. So I suggest you do that before you actually get into the stretches that we're going to show you today. Now the first one is a roll down. Now this is a stretch that works right through the back of the legs, all the way up and through your back, and up through to the top of your head. So it's a great stretch to begin with. We set up with your feet just hip bone width apart, with your toes pointing straight ahead and standing nice and tall. You begin by breathing out to draw your chin over your chest, curving through your neck, and then through your upper back, middle back, lower back. Let your arms relax at the bottom, and you'll take a deep breath in, and then breathe out to slowly straighten your back up again. Now we're finishing off with nice open shoulders and a long neck position, so they're reaching the crown of your head to the ceiling. I'll just show you from side on now. So the breath out to draw your chin over your chest, curving through your neck, upper back, middle back, lower back. Knees stay slightly bent. So deep breath in at the bottom, and then a breath out to slowly straighten back up again. You should find as you work through with this one that you're able to get a little bit lower with each one. So I suggest working through 10 repetitions there. So the next one is a good stretch for your back and for your side into the glutes there. You can also feel a bit of a stretch through the front of the chest as well. This is a side lying back stretch. So for this one, you're lying on your back with your arms out to the side, like in letter T there. You'll have one leg straight on the floor, the other leg will lift up into a tabletop position and then fall across your body like that. Now the idea is to look towards the opposite hand. This shoulder should be nice and anchored down into the mat, and then the left hand will come through onto the knee and gently pull that down towards the floor. So you'll feel a stretch through this area, through here, through the glute, into the lower back, and you may feel across the front of the arm as well. So every time you breathe out, just try and pull just a little bit further down through the knee, easing into the stretch. So I suggest for that one 10 deep breaths for each side. So I've done a couple for your back, but still a little bit more for your legs now. So this next one is going to focus on the front of the thighs, so the quads, and into your hip flexors as well. Now for this one, we set up against the wall. Now it's a bit of an awkward position to start with, but we actually set up with your feet up on the wall here. So you find you'll have the balls of your feet resting up on the wall, and your knees are underneath your hips. The hands come out in front of you, and from this position here, we then bring the left foot forward to where your left hand just was there, and then lift yourself up. Then in this position you should start to feel that stretch coming through into the front of the thigh. From here, we work on lifting your sternum up towards the ceiling, so your back is nice and upright. As you breathe out, first off think about drawing your hips forward away from the wall, and you'll feel the stretch come on just a little bit stronger. So I suggest trying to move just about 2 centimetres at a time. Breath out to just ease into the stretch and come a little bit further. So once you've done 5 breaths in that sequence, the last 5 breaths are then to think about trying to tuck your hips up underneath you. So think of lifting your pubic bone up towards your ribs, and this will get a little bit of a stronger stretch, a little bit more into your hip flexors, a bit higher as well. So I suggest 5 breaths through there as well. So it's a total of 10 deep breaths, and we'll work through both sides. Okay, now the next one is going to focus more on the hamstrings into the back of the thigh. So we just come away from the wall slightly, bring the leg out in front, and then we have the hands either side of the front foot. Now for this one, you really relax through your upper body, just allow your chest to fall onto your front thigh, tuck your chin in and allow your neck to relax. And as you breathe out, you draw your hips back behind you until you feel that stretch into the back of your thigh. And then from this position, every time you breathe out, you try and draw your hips just a little bit further behind you. So again, just easing into the stretch. And I suggest 10 deep breaths for each side. Okay, so the next one's going to focus more onto your calves now, and then deeper calf to soleus muscle. So for this one, we'll be using the wall, and from here we'll be pushing off against the wall with your back leg with the heel down on the floor and the back knee slightly bent. So you'll most likely feel the stretch coming right down low into the calf and then into the outside there. So really important that you've got your heel down on the floor. If you're not feeling much of a stretch, try taking the leg further away from the wall and you should feel the stretch come on a little bit stronger. And I suggest holding it here for 10 deep breaths for each side. Okay, so that's some leg stretches. The next one is more for your upper back. So for this one, I'm going to be demonstrating with a fit ball today. If you've got a fit ball, it's probably ideal to use that. Otherwise you might be able to use a chair or something where you can have your hands a little bit elevated. So the idea here is to sit back onto your heels, so get your bottom as close to your heels as you can. Your hands will come out on the fit ball or chair. And then from here, as you breathe out, you're sinking your armpits in towards the floor. Every time you breathe out, you try and just go a little bit further down. And so you should feel that stretch go right through into the back of the arms and in through to your upper back. And one more. This one will focus on a similar area, back of the arms again. This one's a little bit complex, so give it a go. The idea is to start with your elbows up at 90 degrees like that. We then bring, for example here, the left elbow comes up and over the top, and we reach that left hand through towards the ceiling. And the right hand will hook back around the thumb. So I'll just show you from the back there. So we've drawn the left elbow up and over, and we're reaching that left hand up towards the ceiling, and your right hand is hooked around the back. Okay, so from here, there's a couple of things we work on. First off, to reach your fingers up towards the ceiling, and then the second thing is to draw your elbows forward away from your chest until you feel that nice stretch into your upper back and back of the arms. So every time you breathe out, try and reach your fingers just a little bit further up or a little bit further forward through the elbows. And I suggest 10 deep breaths for each side. So give that one a go as well. So that's a little series of stretching exercises, hopefully to add into your exercise regime. If you've got any other ideas that you'd like to see, check out our YouTube channel, Outcomes Fitness, or our website, outcomesfitness.com.au. Thanks for watching.